Every fairy tale has a number attached. This one's number is $100 million. When Team landed in North America last month, most experts gave them no chance of surviving the group stage. Their entire squad, combined, is worth less than one superstar on the teams they were drawn against. Their federation's annual budget wouldn't cover a top club's monthly payroll. Then they started winning, and every single win came with a check. Here's the machine behind the miracle. Before a ball was kicked, FIFA guaranteed them $12.5 million, $10 million for qualifying, $2.5 million for preparation. For a small federation, that alone is transformational money. Then, the group stage. Survive it, and the performance payments begin. And each knockout round roughly doubles the stakes. The round of 32, the round of 16. With each whistle, the number on the federation's balance sheet climbed by millions. But the FIFA checks are only the visible money. The invisible money is bigger. Start with the players. Before this tournament, most of this squad played in leagues you've never watched, on salaries a mid-table European bench player would laugh at. Now, scouts from England, Spain, Italy and Germany are in the stands with checkbooks. History says a deep World Cup run reprices an entire squad. Players who were worth $2 million in May command 10, 15, 20 million by August. Multiply that across a starting 11, and the transfer windfall can exceed the prize money itself. One tournament can multiply a small federation's commercial income for the next decade. And here's the part almost nobody talks about: the money after the money. FIFA's prize payments go to the federation, and what happens next decides whether this run becomes a dynasty or a memory. The smart federations bank it into academies, training centres, youth coaching, the infrastructure that produced this golden generation in the first place. The badly run ones let it disappear into administration and politics. History has both kinds of stories, and the difference shows up at the next World Cup. Compare that to what the players themselves see. Like every team here, the squad's share of the FIFA money is a negotiated slice, often a quarter to a third, split across the whole roster and staff. For these players, that's genuinely life-changing in a way it isn't for superstars. What makes this story so remarkable is how quickly football economics can change. In club football, building financial power usually takes years. You qualify for bigger competitions, earn more television money, attract better sponsors, sign better players, and repeat the cycle. It's slow, it's predictable. The World Cup compresses that entire process into a single month. That's why every upset echoes far beyond the 90 minutes. When a heavyweight crashes out early, the headlines focus on embarrassment, but when an underdog wins, the consequences spread across an entire football ecosystem. Agents benefit, local clubs benefit through sell-on clauses, youth academies receive solidarity payments, television audiences back home surge. Governments suddenly discover an interest in investing in football infrastructure because success has become politically popular. One victory starts a chain reaction, and confidence has financial value too. That's worth millions before negotiations even begin. Think about how transfer markets actually work. Scouts already know these players. Clubs have databases filled with tracking data, video analysis, fitness reports, and years of performance metrics. The World Cup doesn't magically create talent, it validates it. A federation that previously attracted only local television audiences is suddenly being watched by tens of millions around the world. Every dramatic upset creates another news cycle. Every emotional celebration becomes another viral clip. Every interview creates another marketing opportunity. Sponsors pay for relevance. Nothing creates relevance faster than a fairy tale. Even tourism boards quietly benefit. Fans around the world begin searching for a country they previously knew almost nothing about. Airlines notice increased bookings. Merchandise reaches markets it never entered before. Restaurants, hotels, and local businesses all receive a tiny piece of the attention generated by 11 players chasing a ball. Football becomes an export, because in some ways, it is. The biggest winners are often the children watching at home. Somewhere in Team's country, thousands of kids are asking their parents to buy a football for the first time. Local clubs receive more registrations. Schools start forming teams. Coaches who struggle to attract 20 players suddenly have waiting lists. The return on investment isn't measured next month, it's measured 10 years later. The next golden generation usually begins with the previous one. History proves that repeatedly. Countries that sustain success almost always use breakthrough tournaments as launch pads rather than finish lines. They improve coaching licenses, They build better pitches, they invest in sports science, they identify talent earlier, they create pathways from youth football to the national team. The smartest federations understand something simple. Prize money disappears, infrastructure doesn't. A modern academy can produce footballers for decades. Better medical facilities reduce injuries across every age group. Improved coaching raises standards long after today's heroes have retired. That's how one miracle becomes many. Of course, none of this is guaranteed. Football history is full of cautionary tales. Some federations earned more money than they had ever imagined, only to spend it on short-term bonuses, expensive administration, or political projects that had nothing to do with football. Within one cycle they were back where they started, wondering why lightning never struck twice. Others treated their breakthrough as venture capital. They invested while the world was watching. Years later, they weren't surprises anymore. They had become regular contenders. That's the hidden battle taking place behind every Cinderella story. While supporters celebrate dramatic victories, Federation executives are making decisions that could shape football in their country for an entire generation. Spend, or build, celebrate today, or prepare for tomorrow. That's a choice worth far more than any single match. And don't underestimate the psychological shift success creates. Young players no longer dream about simply qualifying for the World Cup. They dream about winning knockout games because they've already seen someone from their own country do it. Expectations rise, standards rise, confidence rises, belief compounds. Add it together and a deep run by a small nation isn't a $100 million story. It can be worth far more than that, spread across the next 5 years. That's why you'll see players from small federations throwing their bodies into tackles in the 94th minute. It's not just national pride. It's not just a place in football history. Every clearance protects opportunity. Every save protects investment. Every goal creates another headline. Every extra day in the tournament gives scouts another 90 minutes, sponsors another week of exposure, and the federation another chance to negotiate from strength instead of hope. Every minute they stay alive in this tournament, the machine keeps printing, and it's why the World Cup, for all of FIFA's flaws, remains the greatest wealth transfer event in sports. The 1 month where football's money flows downhill, from the richest organisation in the game to federations that need it most. No other sporting event redistributes wealth quite like this. No other tournament can elevate an entire football nation in the span of a few unforgettable weeks. The fairy tale has a number, and the number keeps going up. If you want to know where the rest of the $871 million goes, including why the players lifting the trophy never touched the $50 million check, watch our full prize pool breakdown next. And subscribe, because when this tournament ends, the biggest money story of the summer begins, the transfer window. We'll be following every dollar.